ॐ पार्थाय प्रतिबोधितां भगवता नारायणेन स्वयं व्यासेन ग्रथितां पुराणमुनिना मध्ये महाभारतम् अद्वैतामृतवर्षिणीं भगवती अष्टादशाध्यायिनीम् अम्ब त्वामनुसन्दधामि भगवद्गीते भवद्वेषिणी. So we enter into the 5th chapter. The first chapter, the name is Arjuna Vishada Yoga. What does Vishada mean? Sorrow, sadness. And sorrow and sadness are rooted in, Shoka is rooted in Moha. Right? So Arjuna Vishada Yoga is the Shoka Moha Pradarshana, the presentation of Shoka and Moha which are there for all jivas, because they are jiva, because they are individuals. If there is a sense of individuality, you cannot escape Shoka and Moha. Try whatever you can, you will not. Somewhere or the other, it will come. It will strike you. Tarati Shokam Atmavit. Yajñātva na punarmoham evam yasyasi Pandava. So Shoka Moha will be there. Only situation should come in such a manner where Shoka and Moha become strong. That's all. If immunity is less, something or other will keep coming. Correct? Aisa hi hai. If Jiva Baba is there, something or other will keep on coming to you and telling you, "Hi, how are you? I am there. I have not forgotten you. And you also have not forgotten me, right?" Like that, they'll keep coming. The solution for this Vishada is what? Is Jnana. And that is chapter 2, Sankhya Yoga. Chapter 3 is Jnana. To come to that, you need maturity. And maturity is of the nature of Chitta Shuddhi, Chitta Ekagrata. Talking of spiritual maturity. And to attain that maturity, what is the means? Karma Yoga is the means. So 3rd chapter devoted to Karma Yoga. In the 4th chapter, you had the presentation of first avatar. And that started because Bhagavan said that this knowledge was given before also, even though it is lost now, it was given before. And because it is lost now, I want to, again revive it. And therefore I am teaching you. So that avatar, it started with avatar. And then it went on to tell that Bhagavan, even though he has this kind of janma and karma and all, still he does not have anything. Because he is akarta, abhokta. And then it went on to say that anybody who has this kind of knowledge about themselves, about the Lord, and thus themselves, they also are freed from Now, I also created Chaturvarnya and all those things. Because when I created human beings, I created also the system which goes along with it. Tasya kartaram api mam vidhi akartaram. Even though I created, I did not create. Why? I am a karta. And then again, anybody who has got this knowledge like this, such a person also is liberated. In this way, many people of yore, many sadhakas of yore performed karma. Alright? So this idea of actions being performed but still remaining untouched by it, by being akarta. That infusing knowledge and thus putting an end to action. Infusing knowledge and putting an end to action. That was taken up in the chapter 4. Through verses such as karmani akarmaya pashyet akarmani cha karmaya etc. Right? And then brahmarpanam brahmavi brahmagnam etc. So there in the 4th chapter you had that presentation of karma, action being taken up. That was there. And then you also had a reference to Mahatmas having given up all actions. Yadrichala vasantushtaha dvandvatito vimatsaraha. Right? Nirashir yatachittatma etc. Shariram kevalam karma. Taking up actions only for the preservation of the body, no other actions. No, this is all related to the path of sannyasa. So you had the mention of people engaging in actions. And then you also had reference to those who have given up all actions. But yes, they have the knowledge. That is a different matter. But yadrichalabha santushtaha. Yadrichalabha santushta is little more higher. Little more of giving up actions. Then shariram kevalam karma. Shariram kevalam karma is at least you are doing certain karma for the body. Taking specific actions. Going for food and etc. Going to a few places. Bhavati bhikshanti etc. is there. Shariram kevalam karma. Then yadricha labha santushta is what? Not even that. Whatever comes, you accept. Ajagara vritti. Remember? The style of the python. Python or python? Python. So, ajagara vritti. The life of a python. Just stays in one place. Doesn't go here and there. In search of food. Whatever comes. Probably it's Indian python, I think. I have no idea which python does this. It's called Ajagara vritti. So you have this Yadrichaha labha santushta. So you have the presentation of those in action and those who are not in action. So this chapter titled Jnana Karma Sannyasa Yoga, because of karmani akarmaya pashyet and all those verses, nevertheless you had these two types of presentations. With action and without action. Meaning, one is those engaged in action, completely engaged. And another is those who have given up actions. So, this prompts Arjuna to ask a question. This question is similar to the question of the 3rd chapter. The word is similar, not identical. So, let us read this verse first and then we will see.
Om Shri Paramatmane Namaha. अथ पञ्चमोऽध्यायः कर्म संन्यासयोगः। अर्जुन उवाच
Arjuna uvacha
संन्यासं कर्मणां कृष्ण पुनर्योगं च शंससि
Ram cha shamshasi
यत् श्रेययेतयोरेकम् तन्मे ब्रूहि सुनिश्चितम्। अर्जुन उवाच संन्यासं कर्मणां कृष्ण पुनर्योगं च शंससि यत् श्रेययेतयोरेकं तन्मे ब्रूहि सुनिश्चितम्।
Tanme bruhi sunishchitam Tanme bruhi sunishchitam. Right? So here again you have a similar question. What was the question in third chapter? Jayasi chet karmanaste mata buddhir janardana tatkim karmani ghore ma niyojayasi keshav. What did it mean? If more than karma, greater than karma, is this buddhi yoga, is this jnana, then why are you asking me to do karma? Right? Why are you asking me to enter into ghora karma? Right? Jayasi chet karmanaste mata buddhir janardana tatkim karmani ghore ma niyojayasi keshava. So that was the question. And then Arjuna is telling, Vyanmishreneva vakyena buddhim mohayasiva me tadekam vada nischitya. Tell me one. Now here again he is similarly, you are speaking about sannyasa and then you are speaking about yoga. Yachreya yetayor ekam. Among them you tell me one. Tanme bruhi sunishchitam. Tell me clearly. So you can see that both the questions are same. And therefore, they wonder. Arjuna did not understand the answer. And he is asking the same question again. But throughout the fifth chapter, you don't find Bhagavan Shri Krishna telling, I told you, is it not? Why are you asking again? Or you have forgotten, or you didn't understand. None of the things Bhagavan is saying. Bhagavan is accepting this question of Arjuna as it is and answering also. And therefore that itself should tell you that this is not a repetition. Many students have this confusion. This is the same question again coming. Arjuna is going to ask about karma and other things still more. Once more he is going to ask. Where? Right in the 18th chapter. There we shall see what it is. Now here you must understand what is the difference in the question between the third chapter and the fifth chapter. Okay? To understand this, you need to get the map of the spiritual pursuit, which I think I had said. But let me again tell you the map. Where does it start? It starts with Karma Yoga. Okay? Karma Yoga leads to what? Chitta Shuddhi. And from Chitta Shuddhi, what happens? From Chitta Shuddhi, Karma Yoga leads to Chitta Shuddhi. Chitta Shuddhi to Sannyasa. Chitta Shuddhi to Sannyasa. Now, what are you doing in this renunciation? You are focusing on Shravana, Manana, Nididhyasa. This is the sannyasa of someone who has not gained knowledge and who is striving for knowledge. In other words, this is the sannyasa taken up with a desire for knowledge. Desire for knowledge is termed Vividisha. Desire for knowledge. How do you expand that word Vividisha? Vetum Icha Vividisha. Okay? So this is a renunciation taken by somebody who is desirous of knowledge. What is that person doing, you should ask. Remember, any time there is a giving up, there is a taking up. Giving up and taking up go together. In order to take up, you give up. You give up so that you can take up. They all go together. And therefore, the question you should ask, what is this person who has given up? Given up what? Given up his actions. Given up what were his previous duties. The Shastra gives permission for that. Right? A person enters into Vidvat Sannyasa. It's called Vidvat Sannyasa. Vidvat Sannyasa means what? There is a Shastra Vidhi, in accordance to it. Vidvat Sannyasa. In accordance to the Vidhi, a person takes to renunciation. According to the Shastra Vidhi. So Shastra's permission is there. Shastra injunction is there. Yadahareva virajet, tadahareva pravrajet. The day you have vairagya fully blazing in your heart, that day you take up renunciation. Yadahareva virajet, tadahareva pravrajet. Like that, Shastra injunctions are there. And there is also Viraja Homa is there. Shastra, Yajna, Havana, Homa, these are all Shastras prescribed. It's a Viraja Homa in which the person renounces. So it is conducted according to Shastra Vidhi. Well, what is this person doing who has given up all his duties? Duties not now, what were his previous duties? What is this person doing? Dedicated to Shravana, Manana, Nididhyasa. So Karma Yoga, Chitta Shuddhi. Chitta Shuddhi to Sannyasa. What Sannyasa is this? Vividisha Sannyasa. And from this Vividisha Sannyasa, what happens? Knowledge arises. Shravana Manana Nididhyasana leads to knowledge. This knowledge is called Tattva Jnana. You can, so many words you can use. You can say Aparoksha Jnana. You can say Aparoksha Anubhuti. Yes, you can say. You can say Brahma Vidya arises. Yes, everything is fine. You have to understand. This person gains the knowledge. Now, once the person gains knowledge, then what happens? The person gives up Shravana Manana Nididhyasana. Person gives up Shravana Manana Nididhyasana. What do you mean by that? He has already gained the knowledge. He focuses on the knowledge. And this focus of the knowledge is called as absorption. And this absorption is done through the process of Savikalpa and Nirvikalpa Samadhi. This is also called yoga. Remember, Tam yoga miti manyante stiramindriya dharanam apramattastada bhavati. Those kind of verses. Yada panchavatishthante jnanani manasasah buddhischana vicheshtate tamahu paramam gatim tam yoga miti manyan. This is called yoga. Right? Now, here also there is sannyasa. What is a sannyasa? The sannyasa of Shravana, Manana and those kind of initial processes. And then the person focuses deeply into these sadhanas of absorption. Knowledge is not lost. That person focuses on the knowledge already gained. What is the knowledge the person has already gained? Aham Brahmasmi. The person focuses on that. And to focus, what requires? The mind has to be stilled. And therefore, we talk of that as, what do you call it? Manonasha. We call it Manonasha. Manonasha is this quietening the mind, stilling the mind. And to still the mind, you need to also still the vasanas. To really cause weakness and decay to the vasanas. Attenuation of the vasanas. You understand these words? Attenuation? Attenuation is what? Attenuation is thinning it down. Really thinning it down. And that is called vasanakshaya. So, if the Vividisha sannyasi was practicing Shravana Manana Nididhyasana, the practice of this person who's already gained the knowledge, therefore we call that person Vidvat. What is that person practicing? That person is practicing Vasanakshaya, Manonasha, Tattvajnana. Meaning Tattvajnana, Vasanakshaya, Manonasha. This is the practice of this person, this sannyasa. What is this sannyasa called? Vidvat sannyasa. If Vividisha sannyasa with the practice of Shravana Manana Nididhyasana leads to knowledge, absorption of the knowledge leads to what? Leads to what is termed Jivan Mukti. So this is the whole path. So again, now let us put the whole path. Karma Yoga, Chitta Shuddhi, Vividisha Sannyasa. Then Shravana Manana, you say. Vividisha Sannyasa is Shravana Manana. Then Tattvajnana. Right? Because of Vividisha Sannyasa, what do you gain? Tattvajnana. And then what is the next one? Vidvat Sannyasa. And then Jivan Mukti. Now this map should be always in your mind. Can you say it again? Karma Yoga, Chitta Shuddhi, Vividisha Sannyasa, Tattvajnana, Vidvat Sannyasa, Jivan Mukti. This is the path. In the third chapter, Arjuna's question was between Karma Yoga and Vidvat Sannyasa. That was a third chapter question. So there, the question is between what? The question is between the Karma Yoga practiced by an ignorant, the ignorant person, ignorant of self-knowledge. Karma Yoga practiced by somebody who is ignorant of the self, and the Vidvat Sannyasa which is practiced by somebody who is knowledgeable of the self. So the question is between Vidvat, Avidvat and Vidvat. Can you see that? Do you understand these words? Avidvat, Vidvat. Avidvat means what? Ignorant. Vidvat means what? Knowledgeable. That was the question. And naturally, Bhagavan Sri Krishna's answer to Arjuna was, Arjuna, you practice Karma Yoga. That was the third chapter. And then the elaboration on what is Karma Yoga. That was the whole third chapter. Now, in the fifth chapter, what is Arjuna's question? Arjuna's question is not between Avidvat and Vidvat. It is between two Avidvat. Two ignorant. What is first? First is Karma Yoga. Second is Vividisha Sannyasa. And in the fourth chapter, you had a mention of sannyasa as well as performance of action. Both were there. So that prompted Arjuna. Not that Bhagavan Sri Krishna went into great detail about, of course, he had spoken about Tadvijnana. You go to the Guru, right? What is the verse? Tadvidhi pranipatena pariprashnena sevaya upadekshanti te jnanam jnaninas tattvadarshina. And then he took also about samshaya and all those things. Samshaya is overcome by manana. And all those things are there. And therefore, that what Bhagavan Shri Krishna explained about jnana, and also about idricha labha santushtaha, and also about, about shariram kevalam karma. Now, all these things were all about the topics of somebody in renunciation. Meaning, this topic was touched about. Alright? And then Bhagavan also had touched about the topic of action. In this way, mumukshus of your performed karma, purvaihi purvataram kritam, kuru karmaiva tasmatvam. You see? Therefore, again the topic of karma was touched by Bhagavan. And rightly, Arjuna is asking this question, of these two which are both practiced by the ignorant, I am ignorant. I am not telling that, yes, you explained to me, I am not knowledgeable and therefore I should perform Karma Yoga and I am not eligible for Vidvat Sannyasa. In third chapter you explained, I understood. But now I want to ask you, I am also ignorant. And ignorant people have got two options. Option number 1, Karma Yoga. Option number 2, Karma Sannyasa. Which Sannyasa? Vividisha Sannyasa. Vidvat Sannyasi also has dropped karma. He is not doing karma. Including the karma of Shravana Marana he is not doing. And what is the question of doing the other karma for Chitta Shuddhi? That is not there at all. It has gone beyond all those things. Now this is the question of Arjuna. Prompted by what Bhagavan Shri Krishna spoke in the chapter 4. Wherein he has touched both karma, action, and gave a call to Arjuna, Kuru karmaiva tasmatvam. The last verse of the 4th chapter, Yogam Atishta is there. Is it not? Can you what was that last verse? Tasmad ajnana sambhutam, then Khristam jnanasina tasmad ajnana sambhutam Khristam jnanasinatmanaha chitvainam samshayam yogam atishto bharata is there, right? Now, that verse can also be understood this way. Therefore, since samshaya is the greatest problem, doubt is the greatest problem, therefore, Arjuna, what you do, with knowledge you destroy the doubt. What doubt? Should I fight or not fight? Yes? That was Arjuna's doubt. You destroy that doubt. And then what you do? Yoga matishta. Practice yoga. Uttishta. So that way also it is understood. So therefore, if you take yoga there to be karma yoga, then very clearly again Bhagavan, Kuru karmaiva tasmatvam, he has already said before. All of you are able to remember where, what and all? Kuru karmaiva tasmatvam, purvai purvataram kritam, it had come there. So you ought to do karma. Now again, yoga matishta, you ought to perform karma yoga. Alright? So you have. So Bhagavan's mention of this, telling Arjuna, you take up karma. At the same time speaking about jnana and inspiring Arjuna about, and for jnana the method is what? To focus on Shravana Manana Nididhyasana. Right? And therefore, Arjuna is asking this question here. Both of them are to be done by the ignorant. Why can't I do that? Which Vividisha Sannyasa. Why are you asking me to Karma Yoga? You are telling both, is it not? Between both, what is good for me? Please tell me. That is chapter 5. Are you able to see? Let us now see the verse. Hey Krishna. Hey Krishna. Krishna, everybody knows. Hey Krishna. The word Krishna means Sadananda. Sat Ananda. Sadananda. Sat is what is Sada. What is always is only Sat. So you have there's an Upanishad, Gopala Purva Tapanyupanishad. Okay, many Upanishads are there. Gopala Purva Tapanyupanishad. So there the first verse goes like this: Krishi Bhu Vachaka Shabdaha. The word Krishna is there, no? This Krish and the Anna is there. So it says Krishi, that Krish, what does it mean? Bhu Vachaka Shabdaha. It means Bhu. Bhu is what? Bhu Bhavati. Bhu, to be. Nascha, and what does Na mean? Nascha Nirvriti Vachakaha. Nirvriti is Ananda. Shashvata Ananda. Nascha Nirvriti Vachaka. So Krishna has got what? This existence as well as bliss. Tayor Aikyam. Where there is an identity of existence and bliss. What is that? Param Brahma. That is Supreme Brahman itself. And that is termed Krishna iti abhidiyate. That is called Krishna. The very well known verse. Krishi bhurvachaka shabdaha. Krishi bhuvachaka shabdaha. Nascha nirvriti vachakaha. Tayor aikyam param brahma. Krishna ityabhidiyate. So, hey Krishna. Such a Krishna, Bhagavan. Sannyasam karmanam shamsasi. Karmanam sannyasam. The renunciation of action. Shamsasi. Shamsasi, you speak about. Shams is the root. The root Shams has two meanings. One is to praise, another is to tell. So in the 4th chapter, you find Bhagavan Shri Krishna talking about it. Talking about what? By the renunciation of action, Bhagavan Shri Krishna is talking about. In verses such as Yadrichālābha Santushtaha, Shariram Kevalam Karma. Yadrichālābha, a person who is just satisfied with what comes. Shariram Kevalam Karma, performing only those kind of actions required for the sustenance of the body and then focusing oneself on knowledge. So this is what Bhagavan had spoken of. And therefore, Arjuna tells Bhagavan Shri Krishna, you had spoken about this. What have you spoken about? Sannyasam karmanam. The renunciation of actions. The renunciations of niyata karma. And even in such verses where you say approaching the Guru Pasadana, and then working on questions, asking the Guru questions, Shravana, Manana and all of them are what? They are all referring to sannyasa only. Sannyasya Shravanam Guryat is a very well known line. Have sannyasa and then focus upon the spiritual wisdom. Shravanam Kuryat, Shravanam Manana and all are part of the Vividisha sannyasa. So in this way, you had spoken about this kind of renunciation of karma. And not only that, along with the instruction on that, yogam cha shamshasi. That's the word punaha you see. Punaha means what? Again. Again you are talking of things which cannot be done together. That's what punaha means. Punaha yogam cha shamshasi. Again you are also speaking about me taking up yoga. Kuru karmaiva tasmatvam. Yoga matishta. Abide in yoga, karma yoga. In this way, there are two teachings I can see very clearly. This is the beauty of Arjuna. Arjuna listens carefully to everything, and finally he is able to understand where the teaching requires greater clarity. That is the beauty of Arjuna. To us, we did not feel any problem. Did you feel any problem? ठीक है, सब ठीक है, बढ़िया है, nice teacher, very वाह, कर्मण्य कर्मय पश्येत ब्रह्मार्पणम ब्रह्म, wow, beautiful. But Arjuna, you see how sharp he is. He says you have spoken of two different things which cannot be practiced together. You are talking about shariram kevalam karma. And then you are asking me kuru karma iva. How can I do both? Either I can be a sannyasi or I can be a karma yogi. How can I be both? So, punar yogam cha shamshasi. Therefore, what is my request? Yetayoho yekam. Yet shreyaha. Between these two, one. Why between these two? Why can't you do it together? Because there are four aspects in which Karma Yoga and Vividisha Sannyasa differ, making it impossible for one person to do it. One, the Kriya. One is Kriya. Second is, I'll just enumerate the areas and then we'll discuss. One is Kriya. Second is Adhikari. Third is sadhana. Fourth is ashrama. In all these four, you will find that there is a difference. One is kriya, what a karma yogi does and what a vividisha sannyasa. I'm not going to always say vividisha sannyasa. I'm just going to say sannyasi. You should understand, here the chapter is vividisha sannyasa. What the karma yogi does and what the sannyasi does are different. Action itself is different. It's different. Why action is different? A sannyasi does shravana marana nidhyasana. A karma yogi, what does that karma yogi do? A karma yogi is focused on duties. Different. Niyatam kuru karmatvam, that is where. And for a sannyasi, tadvidhi pranipatena pariprashnena sevaya upadekshanti te jnanam jnaninas tattva darshinaha, and be careful of doubt, put an end to doubt, all those kind of things. So Shravana Manana Nididhyasana is the focus of a sannyasi. Kriya is different. Now Adhikaritva also is different. How is Adhikari? Both of them are ignorant. A karma yogi also is ignorant. A sannyasi also is ignorant. That is why he is practicing Shravana Manana Nididhyasana. Both of them are ignorant. Are both of them same? No. Adhikaritva is different. Why? A karma yogi is working from the background. Karma yogi wants to remove the dirt of the mind. Whereas a sannyasi is not looking for removing the dirt of the mind. A sannyasi has vairagya. Vairagya is there. And here, the person wants to cultivate viveka vairagya. There's a difference. And the sadhanas required for effective karma yoga and the sadhanas required for effective sannyasa are different. Sadhana. A karma yogi requires many things to accomplish his task. A sannyasi, in fact, what is his sadhana? The sadhana is tyakta sarva parigraha. Right? The sannyasi has to give up the parigraha, whereas a karma yogi, there is no problem with parigraha. Because parigraha is, what is parigraha? Parigraha is the various material requirements. material requirements is parigraha. Right? A karma yogi requires the material requirements are fine. Why? For the performance of duties. For a sannyasi, material requirements are given up. So sadhana is different. Ashrama also is different. Sannyasa itself is an ashrama. Is it not? Sannyasa itself is an ashrama. Whereas karma yoga, the ashrama is not sannyasa. The ashrama is typically grihastha ashrama. That is where one can take up all the panchamaha yajnas and perform them to perfection. And therefore, kriya, adhikari, sadhana and ashrama are all different. Therefore, there is no question of one person, even though that person is ignorant, even though both of them are ignorant, there is no question of that very same person doing both these things together. Not possible. And therefore, Arjuna says, Etayoho ekam. Between the two, one. Tat me bruhi. Tatu bruhi, tell me. But Tatu bruhi, you tell me, but what is the requirement, say he places to Arjuna, places to Bhagavan Shri Krishna, me yat shreya. For me, what is? For me, very important here. For me, what is important, you tell me. And that you tell me clearly, sunishchitam. Not both the teaching together you said. No, I don't want that. I want you tell me, this is what I should do. Like that you tell me. But Arjuna, I already told you now. What? That you should do karma yoga. That the question is different. To that question you said I should do karma yoga. What was the question? There the question was, should I do karma yoga or should I go into jnana yoga? That was my question. And what is jnana yoga there? Jnana yoga is absorption in that knowledge. Right? Absorption that knowledge is jnana yoga. In other words, that is Vidvat sannyasa. When I asked like that, yes, you told me I should do karma yoga. Why? Very clearly I was ignorant. That person is jnani, wise, I am ignorant. And therefore you told me. But here, a karma yogi also is ignorant. A person who enters into Vividisha, Sannyasa also is ignorant. Both of us are in the same plane now. Equal ground. They are different ground. Here, equal ground. And therefore, I want you to answer this. And beauty is that Arjuna says, I want you to answer this in specific context for me. Me yat shreya. Can you see me? Where is me? Yat shreya yetayorekam tan me, that me. Why Arjuna you are demanding like this? You only said bhakto si me sakha cheti. I can demand. You told that I am your bhakta, I am your friend. So now please tell me. Shastra's teaching is actually a teaching only if it is contextually given. Contextually it should be given. One teaching not for everyone. It should be contextually given. There's a very beautiful verse. Desha kala vayo vasta buddhi shakti anurupataha. Not that you have to note down or anything like that, but it's a very good verse. Desha kala vaya avastha buddhi shakti. 6 factors has been given. Anurupataha, in accordance to that. Dharmopadeshaha Bhaishajyam. The teaching of the Shastra is a right medicine only if all these 6 aspects are taken into consideration. Dharmopadesho Bhaishajyam Vaktavyam Dharma Paragai. Those who have got the absolute clarity on the Shastra teaching, they should give the teaching how in accordance to the individuals, in accordance to the following situation. What is one? One is Desha, place. Some of these words you understand. Is that not? Desha. Next is what? Kala. Kala is time. Vaya, age. Avastha. Avastha is state of life. Buddhi. Buddhi is knowledge. Shakti, capacity. You consider all these and then give the Upadesha. Then only it is Bhaishajyam. Bhaishajyam is medicine. Then only it will work. Medicine will have to work. In this way, and Bhagavan Shri Krishna also gives the teaching to Arjuna in accordance to what Arjuna requires. And of course, as Arjuna requires, he also explains the reasons and everything. The Siddhanta also is made clear. So how does Bhagavan answer Arjuna? Next verse.
Sri Bhagavanuvacha Sannyasah Karma Yogascha Nisreyasakaravubhau Tayostu Karma Sannyasat Karma Yogo Vishishyate. Sri Bhagavanuvacha Sannyasah Karma Yogascha Nisreyasakaravubhau Tayostu Karma Sannyasat Karma Yogo Vishishyate.
Sannyasaha. Which sannyasaha? Vividisha sannyasaha. Karma yogascha. Ubhau. Where is Ubhau? Last one. Ubhau Nishreyasakarau. Right? Sannyasaha. Karma yogaha. Ubhau. Ubhau is what? Ubhau? Both of them. Both of them. Ubhau what? Nishreyasakaro. Both Vividisha Sannyasa and both Karma Yoga, both of them are paths. Both of them are means for what? For Nishreyasa. He says Nishreyasa Karau. Nishreyasa Karau means they are givers of Nishreyasa. They create for you Nishreyasa. You know what is Shreyas, right? Preyas, Shreyas. And to Shreyas, the word Ni is added. It becomes what? Nishreyas. That means what? Nitaram Shreyas. Nitaram is ever. They are, both of them are bestowers of that final beatitude. Both of them bestow you with that liberation. Both of them are granters of moksha. Yes, both of them. Now, what is this sannyasa? What is sannyasa? We know how many times we are told what is sannyasa. Again and again, what is sannyasa? No, 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 no. I have to tell you something. Sannyasa has got two pradhana meanings and one gauna meaning. Pradhana, gauna, ek kya hai? Pradhana is primary, gauna is secondary. Two primary meanings, one secondary meaning. What is the two primary meaning? What is the first primary meaning? Nitaram asaha sannyasaha. So sam is there, ni is there, and sannyasaha. Sam plus ni plus asaha. Samyak. Samyak is fine. Samyak is very well. Nitaram, ever. Asaha, sitting. Huh? Always, sitting well always. That's called sannyasa. What is this? Meaning Brahmani. That is important. Yeah, I am also sitting comfortably in my chair. I am a sannyasi. No, no. And I always sit in the same chair. So, one doesn't become sannyasi because of that. Brahmani nitaram asaha sannyasa. Meaning, ever being absorbed in Brahman. This is what? This is nirvikalpa samadhi. So what is the primary meaning of sannyasa? Being absorbed in Brahman. Or what is called as that? Nirvikalpa samadhi. That is the primary meaning, first primary meaning of sannyasa. Oh, sannyasa has become nirvikalpa samadhi now. Yeah. Then what is the next meaning? Next meaning is what? Anatma pratyaya nirasaha sannyasaha. As means to sit. Okay, the first one. Here, anatma pratyaya nirasaha. Sannyasaha, the word, the root, one is either as to sit, another is as to throw. As to throw. As to throw. Asyati, to throw, to reject. Usually that is used in the sometimes in the for arrows and all. Arrow, asyati, throw. Now what is this? Samyak. Samyak always. Nitaram, ever, to throw. That means children would be called as sannyasi, right? Children also, whatever they have, throw. Take anything and throw. Throw, break, destroy, sannyasi. No, no, no. What it means is that pratyak drishtya. Anatma pratyaya nirasaha. By the inward movement, by the inward looking. Pratyak drishtya anatma pratyaya nirasaha. Anatma pratyaya nirasaha, that identification. Meaning, by knowledge, ever putting an end. By knowledge means what? By that aham brahmasmi vritti. By knowledge, ever rejecting the anatma pratyaya. Meaning, the continuous flow of the thought of aham brahmasmi with rejects any kind of adhyasa, which puts an end to any kind of aham jiva, where with brahma bhava you put an end to jiva bhava. With brahma bhava you put an end to jiva bhava. You throw it out, you discard. As is used in the sense of throwing or discarding. You discard with Brahma Bhava rejecting the Jiva Bhava. In other words, it is a continuous flow of the single pointed thought of Aham Brahmasmi. In other words, it is the Savikalpa Samadhi. It is that stage of Nididhyasana in its perfection. Savikalpa Samadhi. Now this is sannyasa. These two are the two primary meanings of sannyasa. One is what? Absolute absorption. Another is what? Rejecting the Jiva Bhava through Brahma Bhava. Oh, this is sannyasa. Okay. But you said no, there is a secondary meaning. At least there let me see. If there is any possibility for me. What is the secondary meaning? To come to this primary meanings of sannyasa, the antaranga sadhana is Shravana, Manana, Nididhyasana. Do you understand this term antaranga sadhana? To come to this absorption, to come to this Savikalpa or Nirvikalpa Samadhi, the antaranga sadhana, the inner means is what? Shravana, Manana, Nididhyasana. And that which facilitates Shravana, Manana, Nididhyasana, what facilitates Shravana, Manana, Nididhyasana? What is required for Shravana, Manana, Nididhyasana is focus. What defocuses you from Shravana, Manana, Nididhyasana is the performance of various actions. Therefore, that karma parityaga, that giving up of actions, karma parityaga, that is also having that meaning us to give up, us to throw, us to reject. Do you understand the word karma parityaga? Karma, action. Parityaga, complete renunciation. Karma parityaga. Why? Because it facilitates Shravana, Manana, Nididhyasana. And that is sannyasa. So the first meaning of sannyasa is Nirvikalpa Samadhi. The second meaning of second meaning of sannyasa is Savikalpa Samadhi. They both are what? Pradhana. And facilitating that is what? Facilitating that is Shravana, Manana, Nididhyasana. To enable that Shravana, Manana, Nididhyasana, the renunciation of actions, karma parityaga, which you were doing before as your duties. That renunciation is sannyasa. This is the secondary meaning of sannyasa. In other words, Vividisha sannyasa. So here, sannyasaha karma yogasya nishreyasa karavubho. Both sannyasa and karma yoga are bestowers of nishreyasa. When it is said, we are not talking of the primary sannyasa here. We are talking here, what is the context here? Because that primary sannyasa is covered where? That is covered in chapter 3. Here what is being spoken of is the secondary sannyasa. Right? So Vividisha sannyasa and karma yoga, both of them are bestowers of liberation. But what was Arjuna's question? Arjuna's question was, Yatshreya yetayorekam tanme bruhi sunishchitam. For me, what is good, you please tell me. My faith in you is absolute. I know whatever you are going to tell me is for my good, for sure. I am doubtless about it. Please tell me which is right, which is good for me. Now Bhagavan says, tayostu, of the two, karma sannyasat, then karma sannyasa, karma sannyasat, panchami, right? Then karma sannyasa, karma yoga, karma yoga. What is karma yoga? The dedicated performance of duty, offering it unto the Lord and accepting the results with equanimity. Ishvara-Arpana Buddhi, Prasada Buddhi. Therefore, Karma Yoga you can say is equal to Ishvara-Arpana Buddhi plus Prasada Buddhi. If you want, you can add one more. What is that? Karana Buddhi. What is Karana Buddhi? Oh Lord, I am only an instrument in your hands. Karana is instrument. So that Ishvara, that Karma Yoga, which is a dedicated performance of duties, is what? Arjuna asks the question, for me. So Bhagavan says, for you, Vishishyate. Vishishyate, that is exemplary. That is, Vishishyate, better. That is, superior. That is, higher. That is, nobler. All these words you can use. Correct? Arjuna's question was, for me. And as per Arjuna's requirement, Bhagavan also states. Why? Arjuna is at the state where he has to perform Karma Yoga, gain Viveka Vairagya Chitta Shuddhi, because that is what is required for Arjuna. Right? And in fact, if somebody renounces, meaning comes to Vividisha Sannyasa without Chitta Shuddhi, Chitta Ekagrata, they also cannot abide by that Vividisha Sannyasa perfectly. It is not possible. Therefore, Arjuna, what? Karma Sannyasat Karma Yogo Vishishyate. Why? For going to that Karma Sannyasa, Vividisha Sannyasa, what is required? With Tivra Viveka. With strong Sadasad Viveka, one should have Tivra Vairagya. That should be there. And with strong Moksha Ichcha, desire for liberation, what should be there? Shama, Dhamma and all of them should also be there. All these things should be in full measure. Only then Vividisha Sannyasa is recommended by the Shastra, not otherwise. These are the tick marks you have to. Tivra Vairagya, yes. Shama, Dhamma, Uparama, everything, tick, 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 everything. Further, more clarity will come in the next verses. Only for such an adhikari is Vividisha Sannyasa recommended, permitted, advised. Otherwise, what is required, what is advised? Karma Yoga is what is advised. Sannyasa Karma Yogasya Nishreyasa Karavubhau Tayostu Karma Sannyasa Karma Yogo Vishishyate. And Karma Yoga has the capacity to purify the heart. Right? We have discussed it many times. Keep in mind one important point how Karma Yoga purifies is one's connection to Bhagavan. That is the greatest power in Karma Yoga. Yasya smarana matrena janma samsara bandhanat vimuchyate namastasmai vishnave prabhavishnave. Yasya smarana matrena, by mere remembrance. A Karma Yogi ever remembers. And nothing as powerful as the remembrance of the Lord to purify the heart. All right. But Swamiji, what? In so many places, sannyasa is glorified. How? You may say, Swamiji, you know where it is glorified. We have no idea where it is glorified. Lot of places. Even in the ashramas, you see, brahmachari, grihastha, vanaprastha, sannyasa. It's kept in the top. Nyasa eva atyarechayat. Of all, sannyasa excelled. There are some nice quotations also. In Narada-upanishad, you find a nice line. It says, Nyasa iti Brahma. Sentence, you don't, so many quotations you don't have to write down. So many quotations are there. Nyasa eva Brahma. Brahma hi paraha. Iti Nyasaha eva atyarechayat. This is a full quotation. Nyasa is Brahman. Nyasa is Brahman. Sannyasa is Brahman. And Brahman is the highest. Therefore, sannyasa excels. Lots of places. And even we have great respect for sannyasa, is it not? That's natural. Sannyasa also, natural. That is all coming from the tradition of keeping sannyasa in the highest pedestal. Now, what is Bhagavan Shri Krishna telling? Nyasam esham tapasam atiriktam ahu. Of all the tapas, sannyasa is the greatest tapas. Atiriktam ahu. Now, in this way, sannyasa is glorified in the Upanishads everywhere. And now, what does Sri Krishna say? Tayostu karma sannyasat karma yogo vishishyate. Now, is this correct, Swamiji? What is this? More than sannyasa, karma yoga is better. Ye kya hai? Viruddham vadati Bhagavan Krishna. Speaking contradictory things. He's going against Shastra. No. The question of Arjuna was very clear. He's not asking this kind of technical, philosophical. Arjuna's question is very clear. For me, etayor ekam, tell me one. For me, what is good? Right? Is that not the question of Arjuna? Yashreya etayor ekam tanme bruhi sunishchita. And of the two, you should tell only one. Only one you should tell. Etayo ekam. Don't tell this is also good, that is also good, and then this is also good, that is also good. If you look at this is good. If you look at this, that way good. And I'm telling you, for me, what is good, you tell me. And therefore, Bhagavan Shri Krishna very straight to Arjuna says, of the two, this is by far better. Why? This is where you will find your growth happening. Okay? You should understand. Otherwise, you should think, what is this? Going against Shastra. Aisa nahi hai. It's not against the Shastra. It is Shastra for Arjuna. And thus for all of us too. Remember, Arjunam nimitti kritya. That is, keeping Arjuna as an excuse. Arjunam nimitti kritya. So Bhagavan Shri Krishna is looking at Arjuna and then not just looking at Arjuna, is keeping Arjuna as Partha is only Vatsa, is only calf. Milk is not drunk by the calf fully. Milk is drunk by all of us. Calf gets a little milk. Like that, keeping Arjuna as an excuse, Bhagavan Sri Krishna is looking at us and talking to us and teaching us even now. Bhagavan Sri Krishna is teaching even now to all of us. Okay? Keep that in mind. All right. So what does further Bhagavan say? We'll see tomorrow.